I want to kind of do an update on the stainless steel insert, and I'm going to show some pictures of what it looks like after about 11 cooks. And also I'm going to sort of talk about how powerful I found that this thing is. It's huge. Probably describe it more as a rocket than just a little backyard cooker like my Weber is. I mean, you fill this thing up and they're telling us that it's 10 to 15 hours, probably at 220 or so for a slow cook for a brisket overnight. And I believe that. So you're at a point where you're cooking at about 250, 300 degrees and you want to go up to 450, and you get it within moments. And that's because there is just so much energy stored up in here while it's burning, and it comes at a cost. So somewhere I might want to put into the title, you know, how to save money with a Masterbuilt. But all my cooks, as you have seen of what I posted, are vegetables. So with the vegetables, those tend to be probably 45-minute, maybe an hour burn time. So if you were to fill this up, you would think that you could get maybe 8 hours, or 8 different burns with all this, but it's not the case. I've gone through a whole stack down to about here, then here, then here, and then finally finished it just in 4 of those vegetable burns. Now, this thing is designed to get really efficient once you start it and you go for a long cook. But what if you're just doing a couple of hot dogs or hamburgers, or you're going to throw a couple of chicken thighs on there or something, and that's it? It's going to be a quick burn. I just want to point out that if you fill this thing up and you're going ahead and you're doing your barbecue and you're done with the burgers and you got them on the plate and you turn it off and you put your blades in and you go in the house, your barbecue may have only used about this much of it, but it's going to use about this much in the snuffing out process. So 3 times, 4 times, you've burned up a big bag of briquettes. So I've started thinking backwards. Like, if I wanted to do vegetables on my Weber, how many would I put in there? And it would not have been a whole chimney. I would have reserved that for like steaks and stuff like that. But for vegetables, it'd be about 3/4 of a chimney, probably even half. And I'd get them burning, I'd get my vegetables, and then I would get the vegetables off, put the lid on it, and I'd walk away and just let them burn out. So in that scenario, on this barbecue, I'm using 3 times more coal. And I'm not getting 3 times more cook, it's just 3 times more shutting down usage out of it. So from now on, when I do my vegetables, that's why I have a little bag here. I'm going to put in maybe like 3/4 of a chimney of charcoal starter chimney. And I'm going to put that in there, I'm going to light it up, I'm going to do my vegetables, and when I'm done, I'll blade it off, turn off the computer, and go on in the house. And the next day I'll come back and see if I've got any coals left. My guess is that there won't be, not at that point. So when I'm done cooking, I'm pretty much hoping that all my coals are used up and I don't have to worry about it shutting down. Probably a trick way for all of us would be to have like a gas connection here on the side and have a big jug of like something inert, like maybe nitrogen or something like that. And at the end of a cook, with this all sealed off and everything, just get rid of all the oxygen. It would go out instantly and no problem. But I'm not going to do all that. So tonight, another vegetable cook, but this time I'm going with a lot less coal. I'm not going to fill this thing up ever again. I'm just going to put in what I think I'm going to need. And I'll lean to the extra side of putting coal in, or charcoal in, until I get more of a feel for it. But eventually my goal is to learn how much of a chimney to dump in, do my cook, done, and actually save, oh, if you put 20 pounds in there, you're 10 of those pounds in this example that I'm trying to tell you is going to be snuffing it out if you're doing a lot of little cooks. Now, you guys that are cooking the big meats and everything else, you're not going to see this, and I really wouldn't worry about it. But this is for the guy that wants to get this and really enjoy cooking a big party's worth of meat, meat and everything else. Just fill it up and use it. But for those every night things where it's just you and one or two of your kids and you're just having like a small meal, don't get rid of your Weber if that's what you want. You go ahead and use your backyard kettle. But if you're like me, I want to use this. I just love the way it works. And with that said, I'm going to be suggesting figure it out. Take a look. See if you think you're burning up a lot more coal than you ever used before. This is an example of how much coal is used. This was full, and it burned down to that level after one burn. This is also a few days earlier where it was the same thing. It was full, and that's how far it burned down after one burn. Now, this is the one that I'm showing you, 3/4 of a chimney of coal. This is what I'm going to use in today's vegetable cook. Okay, so as you saw, about half of my stainless steel mod insert box is filled at this point. I'm going to put in some extra smoke for my vegetables. I'm going to take a haystack and put it on in. Make my match. Give it a go. Now at this point, I'm going to start it up. Take out the top blade. This is where I've been using the fan to okay, got the door closed, got the computer turned on, the haystack is burning. Now I'm going to blow a little air across that haystack and get those coals kind of started up. And I'm doing this to get rid of that error code 4. I don't know if you guys have seen the error code 4, but if you rush this process a little bit, the box won't get hot enough, and then as it runs, the computer is going to notice that it's not getting hot quick enough. And I've seen, it'll do just fine if you light it and let it burn and work up here, but the fan kind of accelerates that. So I'm going to give it about another 20 seconds here. Okay, so here's my vegetables for tonight. These have all been cut and cleaned, and then I used a little EVO and a little salt on each one of them. And now to go ahead and put them on the grill. Okay, so for clarity on what my mission is here, now that the vegetables are on, I've got the extra smoke. I've only got about 3/4 of a stack of a chimney of coals in there. As you can see, it's smoking up, which really makes these vegetables delicious. And yes, one day I'm going to cook meat. It's just that I am trying to lose a little weight, and vegetables are definitely helping me get there. So I'm just not wanting to cook these vegetables on a Weber when I can get all this smoke from this powerful machine. But I just want to point out that this is only going into orbit and then coming back down. We don't need to carry enough fuel to take us all the way to Mars and back. It's like if I were to put 28 gallons in my F-150, I could go probably 600 miles with it. But just going to the store and back with that 28 gallons of fuel in the truck is not going to be as efficient as if that truck was on a 1/4 or an 1/8 of a tank, and I was making all my little trips, not hauling all that extra weight around. So with the idea of fuel economy, that's what I'm trying to do here. Briquettes aren't that much money. I mean, throw them in there, enjoy them, have fun, play with fire, enjoy the smoke. I mean, that's obviously what you're going to get with this. But you know, I would probably say that I usually have like 12 big bags of Weber Professional briquettes at any given time. About twice a year, the big box hardware stores tend to have sales where instead of paying $19 for 2 big bags that are wrapped together, you can get both bags for like $9.50. And when those days come, I look at it as, hey, that's 50% off. I'll get twice as much. I'll take as many as I can put into my cart and bring them home and then stack them up. And then I'm already ahead of the game as far as not having to pay for 1 bag at a time down at the store full price. So if you haven't done that, look for it. It's really kind of a cool deal. A few of my neighbors, we know that we all want to get them when they're at that kind of a price and that kind of a deal. So if one person sees that you get 2 bags for like $9, it's like a text message goes out and everyone gets in their cars and down to the store, and 10 bags later, you know, 10 double bags later, you know, we bring them home. So we're all set up. Then of course we have a real nice competition with the neighbors. Like if we're cooking a couple of racks of ribs, or we got a roast going or whatever, there's always a point where we trim it off, wrap it up, take it to a neighbor. But why I started this video today was I finally saw the blistering in here, and I often thought when I saw it on other people's Masterbuilts that it was the paint blistering off, and I was kind of wondering, was that a quality issue or what? But I have learned, and I'm sharing in this video, that that is not the paint. That is just the buildup of all of the extra wood tars and briquette tars that are in there, and probably some waxes. I don't know what you guys use, but pretty much I've been using the Weber or the Kingford Professional. But it was just this last cook that I finally got that blistering effect. Up until now, it was just nice and even black in there. So I'll share that so that you can kind of see this compared to other videos you might be looking at. Because if you haven't got one of these yet, I don't want you to be turned away by what looks like paint blistering off on the inside of these things. It's not. Well, this pretty much proves that the top of the lids are not paint blistering off. This has never had paint on it. This is a stainless steel top, and it's had about 10 cooks, and it's just all chipping off, and it looks like paint, but as you and I know, there is no paint here. So that kind of answers what's going on. There's no need to try to protect the paint, and putting down a sheet of aluminum foil or the bottom of a aluminum roasting pan or something to keep this off of your lid. But this piece here is the stainless steel piece that I use on the top here, and this all happened within the last cook. See, I mean, that just chipped off right there. You would have sworn that was paint, and I even have this thick buildup here now, and if I squeeze it, it just crumbles. So very unique. I was waiting for this to happen. I was pretty sure it would. And boy, there it is. Yeah, it sounded like a big piece came off. Oh yeah, right here. Let's see. Yeah, big piece. So, I think that is proof positive that that's not the side shedding metal or anything like that. Yeah, wow. Okay, well, I'm happy to see that it's not the paint chipping off. Okay, so I scraped it down using a spatula, just knocking it off, and that's lifted all the loose stuff off. So I kind of did the same thing with the walls in here. I just gave them a scrape. I removed the coals, and that's the aluminum tray down there, or the stainless steel insert. And I'm kind of noticing, I don't know if I can zoom in. No, yeah, I can. That the stainless steel insert kind of buckled a little bit at the bottom, but it has the original metal of the Masterbuilt behind it, and plus all the bricks, so I don't see that as being a problem. So that is an update to the stainless steel insert retrofit. You can still see the edge of it around there, and looks solid to me. Okay, so let's see how much of the coal is left after the cook. Perfect. I've used up just about all that I wanted to use. I mean, I think I put like 3/4 of a chimney of coal in here, and you can see where I've got a dozen coal pieces left. So the next time I do vegetables, I'm going to put a half a chimney of charcoal and see if that then leaves me with maybe only 5 or 6 left. So all I'm trying to do is see if I can give you advice on not throwing away your briquettes, but burning to the level that you probably have done for years like in my case, a Weber. So that's going to be great. Running it mean and lean. Well, let me finish this all up. It's going to be a little bit of a rough edit all the way through, but close enough for me to get this produced and online, because I'm going to be gone for the next couple of days, and I won't be around here. So I really like to get this done tonight. So thank you very much. And yes, I won't be putting loud music in the background. I heard you guys loud and clear. So let's see what happens. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. Oh yeah, like and subscribe if you have the chance. Take care. Bye.